University of Manitoba campus was a hustling place with lots of things going on.
Pre-pandemic, it was a really kind of vibrant, busy campus.
In a typical year, our building is bursting with energy. There is so much music being made everywhere.
It is a very robust community,
full of culture and thriving.
I didn't believe it at first. I didn't know what was going on. Was doubting it, and then all of a sudden it really hit and the realization came, and then of course everything changed.
So I definitely remember leading up to that, one of our profs said in our class, so kind of a week before everything happened, that guys, be prepared, we might be going online, and we kind of laughed them off.
I mean, my initial reaction was that's the right thing to do, especially at the start. I was very saddened. I was very deeply remorseful of, missing out on my full first year experience.
It was like, oh my God, how are we going to adjust? That was my first reaction.
Part of me saw it coming, but I was also just like, oh my goodness, life as we know it is going to come to a halt.
I know it's for everyone at the university is you look at impossible problems and you say, how can I make this work? Because there's no question we have to make it work. We have to find a way of thinking about something that seems impossible and finding possibilities in it.
I did have some students who had to move out of residence quickly. Of course, their families were as helpful as possible.
It was quite a strange experience, and it kind of felt strange being distanced from the people you care about, your friends that you met.
At first, the questions were really around with this transition to online learning, will I be okay with my study permit, my status here in Canada?
In March, I was already in my practicum, so I wasn't affected by classes moving online, but my practicum moved online. So I had to learn how to teach and teach online at the same time.
Like probably most of the people, I thought it was going to be very short, temporary. Did not expect it to last a year. In fact, it's going to last even longer than a year now.
It was a ghost town. I mean, I was expecting zombies to round the corner at any moment.
You feel for the students, especially the new students that were starting in the fall, not being able to be here on those first few days, and the weather's usually beautiful and you're here for orientation and you're touring around.
As an advisor, my main concern was for the first year students because everything is so new to them already.
Being a first year student in itself is very hard. You're trying to figure things out, and being on campus is hard. And then when it's online, away from everything else, it's gonna be, I knew it was gonna be hard.
We had to make sure that we offered book drop services.
We were closed from March onward, and luckily we were getting ready to be able to reopen in August at a reduced capacity, of course.
It felt unsettling. It's as if you couldn't grow anymore, you stopped and time froze.
I was trying to be kind to myself, but I also felt a lot of empathy for others. Because we have a lot of international students. We have a lot of people that go to university because it is not just a textbook experience, it's more than that.
It was really frustrating, to be honest, obviously, because especially entering my 5th year, I want to make sure I end my career on a good note, so I want to prepare and be ready for my last year.
I now have the honor to ask, in the name of the University Senate, the Chancellor Anne Mann, formally confer the certificates earned by the graduate.
I think it's one last way to celebrate our successes, not in the way that we're accustomed to in the big gym, with everybody shaking hands and getting their diplomas or degrees and just celebrating our successes. But it's a great way to still highlight what we've done at the University of Manitoba.
It's definitely bittersweet, but I'm proud of my achievements. I did it in the middle of a global pandemic, so I get to give myself a pat on the back.
Well, I think that we've learned how strong we are. I think we've learned how remarkable our students are we've always known that, but in a different way.
It's really made me appreciate how much it helped to have all these little aspects of
working outside my home and working in the campus community.
Being at this campus, the health science campus of University of Manitoba, I was always surrounded by people who were motivated to do something during this pandemic.
I would say it's been a fantastic learning experience, particularly for the students. It's taught us not to take anything for granted, and when the parameters within which we operate change, rather than complain about the changes, you change and adapt to it.
Even though we can't work together, the community spirit stays strong.
We don't need much of a people around us to feel that we are loved, cared and supported.
One of the groups that I'm a part of is the Nichi Walk-In Peer Mentor Program. So we have a monthly meeting where we all come together to share our successes and our downfalls and kind of work together.
Our mandate this year combined was to make sure that students feel welcome, that they feel connected, and that they feel together.
We've adjusted tremendously, and you asked me whether I've talked to other faculty. In fact, I would say the communication has actually gone up.
I definitely feel better this March 2021 than I did March 2020. We did the best we could, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Now that things are starting to open up, my sense of optimism has been enlightened.
I'm excited. I just want to get back, be able to have my whole team here and all be able to practice together. So if that means we can do that, then I'm excited.
Everybody wants to come back to campus. I know that. Everybody's super excited and just missing, those in-person interactions.
I would love to have labs in person because it's just so much more exciting when you can do that chemistry experiment.
I can't wait for the first time I hear a choir or the orchestra or any sort of singer, and just the sheer joy of hearing that beauty.
I can't wait until we can travel again and just get on the road and start playing games in our conference.
I love my coworkers. I love my office. We do the odd lunch and coffee breaks together over Zoom, but to do that in person obviously will be really nice again.
I think that if we are able to be on campus in whatever capacity, we're just going to be grateful for it.